Tell us the mindset. No Draymond, no GP2, and maybe the best defensive game you guys played all season.
Yeah, we all knew we had to step up. This is two of our best defenders, two of the best defenders in the league. So everybody had to lock in on the game plan. We executed better. We didn't turn the ball over as much, and we was able to get them in the half court and execute our game plan.
Help everybody understand why you're such a good rebounder on both sides of the floor. Your anticipation, how you know where the ball's going. Just explain that.
I can't tell you the secrets to rebounding because I don't want nobody to steal it, but using my size, my length, being able to know where the ball is going to be at. I know where my shooters are shooting from. I know where they tend to miss at. And I do a lot of studying. Me and Decky do a lot of talking about using your hands, using your body. And the last few games I had a lot of more offensive fouls. So today I wanted to be more careful, using my body and less hands.
The assists are part of your DNA. When you were a high school star and into UCLA, you could handle, you could drop dimes. And tonight, without Draymond, you had to do all the decision-making. Tell us about the assist, particularly the one to Kuminga. Steph doubled, finds you. You get Kuminga on the dunk. Everyone was most excited about that play.
Yeah, that's something that I always been pretty good as a passer, but being able to study and learn from Draymond and Andre, two of the best guys in the pick and roll in the pocket, I got to learn a lot from them guys. And without Draymond being here, I had to make sure I was more of a facilitator, getting our guys open. And whenever I can connect with JK on a dunk and get the crowd going, that's always a great feeling.
You guys flipped the points off turnovers. You guys took care of the ball, forced a good amount of turnovers, got the points. What were the talks like when it comes to the turnovers? Because obviously that was a big topic of conversation, and you were a part of taking care of the ball tonight as well.
Yeah, that's something that we've been talking about the last whole series, really. That's something that Draymond challenges to not turn the ball over in the rebound. I think we did a good job of that today.
How big is it to have the 2 days off? You don't play till Sunday, then Game 5 would be Wednesday. That extra day, rather than going every other day, I mean, physically you get to recover, but just mentally in the prep and the film session, take us through that a little bit.
It's definitely a benefit for us. We got time to prepare and plan. We're hard to beat, and we're good at playing every other day too. But we got some guys that's older and they need the rest, and I think the 2 days is good for us.
You guys are always talking about your physicality. Coach Mike Brown has talked about being the more physical team. You guys were the more physical, aggressive team tonight. And I always say you love hitting people. So how much are you a part of encouraging the guys, hey, we got to hit them first, be the more aggressive team, offensive rebound, steals, all those different things?
Definitely, I try to encourage guys to get in there, get in the mix, be more physical. But I feel like as a big man, it's more my job to set the tone early. If I go out there and get a bunch of offensive rebounds early, I think everybody feeds off that energy. They start crashing as well, and it's a team effort. I feel like I did it early. Dante followed. Wiggs was doing the same thing. JK, and we was all hitting the glass.
Hey, I want Kevon in the next film session, find that offensive rebound by Jordan Poole, because you have a smile on your face like, what are you doing in here?
Yeah, he had no business down there.
I love it. That's the Milwaukee guys. Hey, wait a minute. There's another Milwaukee guy in here. So
let's talk about, as a team, their goals for this game to make sure you didn't fall down 0-3 in the series.
Yeah. Draymond came into practice yesterday passionate, letting everybody know we got to step up and win this game, because it'll be a loud game to win, and it's a must win. So letting everybody know we got to step up and take on our role, plus some extra for him and then GP going out last minute.
I was going to ask you about Draymond's pep talk there, how spirited it was. If there was a swear jar, how much money would go in?
Y'all might as well forward his whole check, though. He just got that passion and that energy when he speak. Like, it's like on some movie type stuff. It seems like something you see in an inspirational movie, like Rocky coming out before the fight. But he's just something about him when he come in and he's skilled with doing it. So they did the job.
Yeah. And when you guys are playing shorthanded, and I should also mention that you had some big threes in this game, 13 points off the bench. When you're playing shorthanded, what's the importance of bench support?
Yeah, I feel like that's what the playoffs is about, different guys go out different nights. You see Giannis, Tyler, like different dudes is out for different teams, but don't nobody want to hear about that. Did you win the game? And that's what it's about, especially in a must-win situation like we in.
What do you guys want to take from this game to roll into Sunday?
The win. We want to keep that same mentality. Everything that we did to win this game, just keep doing it. Not try to change too much up, but keep doing the job and keeping the main thing, which is winning.
Keep it rolling. Thank you.
I appreciate you.
The defense that your group played tonight, especially in the interior down the stretch, missing two of your top defenders. I mean, just how much did that? It also led to some spectacular offense. How much did that mean?
Yeah, the defense has been good all series. It's just that in the first two games, we didn't rebound, so we didn't complete the possessions, and we turned it over, so they scored a ton in transition. So tonight was about taking care of the glass and taking care of the ball. And our half-court defense was really good. Our guys were playing with a lot of energy, and eventually, that's going to lead to offense, just getting out in transition, and that we finally broke through offensively in the second half. But the game went the way it did because we took care of the ball.
You said you were extremely surprised by Draymond's suspension. Just what did you think about, in general, the way that you guys responded without having him on the floor tonight? Yeah,
our guys were locked in yesterday when the news came in, and we turned the page pretty quickly. There's no need to, as I said yesterday, there's no need to belabor the point. It's just the league made the decision, so you only have one path to take, and that's get ready for the next one, and that's what our guys did.
Steve, you have pretty important minutes out of Moody and Kuminga. Did you know that you were going to rely on them in this game, or was it something that they kind of earned those minutes? Yeah,
both guys were in the rotation plans going into the game, I thought Moses, really got us going in that first half with those 2 threes, and J.K. after a slow start gave us some good minutes in the second half. So it's good to see the young guys come through.
Hey, Coach. Before the game, you mentioned John wouldn't be quick, but don't hurry. How'd you feel your guys did in terms of not rushing, but still remaining under control? That was the key. Just wasn't so much about the pace as it was about the decision making, and we had some early crazy ones that we kind of got away with, and as the game went on, I think the guys understood just what that decision making was doing, forcing Sacramento to play in the half court where we've been making it tough on them throughout the series.
Looney had 20 rebounds, 9 assists, guarded Sabonis, obviously. What did overall you think of his game, and particularly with the 9 assists, how much does his responsibility there go up with no Draymond? Yeah, I mean, the way we've been playing, the two of them have been trading off on Sabonis after we start with the first 6 minutes or so with both of them on the floor. First 2 games of the series, they were flip-flopping, but tonight, obviously, he took him most of the game. I thought JaMychal came in, did a really good job on him as well. But this is Loon. This is who he is. We've seen it in the playoffs for years now. He's always locked into the game plan. He never makes mistakes. He rebounds like crazy. He makes the right decision. The game is much simpler when Loon is out there for our guys.
Following up on Kavan, we were talking a lot about rebounding, right, heading into this game. As Slater said, he had 20. Just what did you see from his effort on the boards? How was it different, than in those past games, and how did you just?
Just the energy from our whole team allowed us to control the glass. So we were hitting bodies early rather than in what we were doing in Sacramento, where we were ball watching, and everybody else boxing out allowed Loon to get a lot of those defensive boards, and then offensively, I think we spaced them out pretty well, and then Loon was in the pocket, on our pick and rolls and just going right to the rim. So he found a lot of offensive rebounding opportunities.
Steve, you mentioned Moody and Kuminga. How essential is it, if you're going to win this series, to get contributions from 7, 8, 9 on the roster, on the bench? In the context of, throughout this run, these last 9, 10 years, you've always gotten in the playoffs some sort of unexpected big games from Livingston, Ian Clark, Mo Spates, whatever.
Yeah, that's what the playoffs are about. You ride with your stars, and then the guys, the role players, need to step up and make plays, and our guys did that tonight. So it could be someone different next game. I just thought that all those guys came in. I thought Dante was fantastic. He didn't shoot the ball particularly well, but he was all over the glass. He handled the ball. He had 8 assists. Took some pressure off of Steph and Jordan, and got us into our flow.
Steve, Steph took 25 shots. They looked like really good shots. Was it a schematic change, or was it just like Steph being Steph and figuring out the defense?
No, there was nothing different schematically. It was just, we controlled the game, and again, with our rebounding, with our defense, and he saw where he could attack, and he's been doing this for so long. He figures out the game pretty quickly and sees what's out there, and then reacts accordingly.
Do you do anything when you hit 12 turnovers? Like, the goal, you're like 12 turnovers or less would be ideal. You hit it. Do you, celebrate somehow? Because it's that rare.
I'm going to have a margarita right now. But I was going to do that even if we had 25 turnovers.
Steve, before the game, you had said that you expected the crowd to supplant Draymond's energy. You're 12-1 in this building. I'm just wondering, how do you think the crowd did tonight, and what is it about Chase?
Crowd was great. I mean, I know it's a different arena than Oracle, but it's the same dynamic, which is the Bay Area. It's a basketball hotbed. People love basketball here, and so whether it was at Oracle or Chase, we just have great basketball fans in the area, and I do like that this building, the roof is not sky high like a lot of the new arenas. They built this arena so that it was, pretty intimate, and our crowd, you can feel the crowd. They're right on top of you, and it's become a great home floor for us.
Steve, we've seen big scoring nights from Steph, but 36 points and only 1 turnover. What does that say about only 1 turnover with 36 points? What does it say about his style to kind of have everything under control like he did tonight?
Well, again, that was that's been the message, and that was the key. And Steph is our point guard, so it starts with him. And our guys followed suit, and we, for the most part, just stacked good possessions on top of one another, and understood the value of, even if we're not scoring, get control of the ball, don't give them transition opportunities, and make them score in the half court. That's kind of playoff basketball in general, but definitely against a team like Sacramento that thrives in transition.
Steve, it feels like a simple question, but how does this win change the dynamic of the series?
Well, nothing's happened yet. This is how the series, these series are designed, right? It's 2-2, and then you go 1-1-1, and until somebody wins a road game, it's just everybody's just holding serve. So that's all that's happened so far.
They're 27% from 3 in the series on a pretty high volume. Do you feel like you guys are defending the 3 very well, or is it just kind of variance and they're cold right now? I'm
not going to sit here and pretend that we have forced every 3 that they've taken to be a difficult one, but that's the plan. We're trying to do that as best we can, and I'm sure they're going to have a game, where they knock down some more 3s, but we can withstand that as long as we're doing what we did tonight, rebounding and taking care of the ball. Thanks.
Kevon, Kerr said that kind of the mood was set yesterday. You're not feeling sorry for yourselves. You're thinking of Draymond getting suspended, and you're set on this game. Did you feel that things were kind of clicking in? This game basically started yesterday?
Definitely, no. We knew what we had to do to win the game. We kept falling up. We had the right game plan for the first 2 games, but we kept falling up short. We didn't execute it how we wanted to, and we was all locked in, watched a lot of film, and just the mood around the whole team that we was locked in, and our focus rose even more.
Hey, Kevon. Last week, over here, Kevon. Last week, Bob Myers called your offensive rebounding Rodman-like, the kind of rebounds that you grab. I mean, I know that's big names, big company, but with a 20 rebound performance tonight, did you feel like everything that was coming off the rim was yours?
Definitely. That's great praise for, especially from Bob. He's seen a lot of basketball, so that's big time. And sometimes as a rebounder, you can get in the zone, just how, Steph and them three-point shooters get in the zone. As a rebounder, I feel the same way sometimes. Like, I know where the ball's going. Every time I touch it, it seems to go my way. The tips going my way and different things like that. So, I wanted to come in and focus on getting more rebounds. The first 2 games, I think I did a good job rebounding. Me and Decky talked about it before the game, being more aggressive, using more position and not just pushing and shoving, but using, the skills I have. And I think I did a good job at that.
Kevon, how essential were the contributions from Moody and Dante and the guys off the bench who maybe haven't been prominent in the first 2 games? And I'm curious, sort of going back in time, why you guys always seem to get sort of big contributions from the bench in the playoffs in particular.
Yeah, I think they were great tonight, just setting the tone of being physical. Dante was, I think he had 4 or 5 steals. He was everywhere, flying in, offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds. Moses was great, with his physicality. Hit a couple threes, was finishing at the rim. And I think they all provided spark. J. Mike was great, rebounding and just setting the tone physically. And I think that's what we had kind of been missing. And at home, Steve usually gives everybody a shot in the playoffs, and I think that everybody stepped up, and we don't need them to continue to step up to win the series.
Hey, Kevon. Coach Kerr has obviously been preaching taking care of the ball after the first 2 games. Knowing with Draymond out that you were going to get probably some more playmaking opportunities, how did you kind of balance not wanting to turn the ball over, but also wanting to make quick, good decisions?
It's something that we, as me, Draymond, other bigs, we all practice this every day in practice. Something we go over since I've been here, playing out of the pocket. Steph and Clay draw so much attention that you got to be able to make the right plays. So I was just hitting the open man and not rushing, slow it down, and trying to make the right decisions. And got to making shots, and I was able to get a lot of assists today. And So, I don't get to get a lot of playmaking opportunities all the time, but tonight was my night, and I did the right decisions.
Kevon, after the game on TNT, Steph said, they say Draymond's got a history, so do we. How does your history motivate you guys?
We're a team with a lot of pride. We know how to respond when our back against the wall. We always usually show up. I think Draymond knew that. Without him not playing, he knew how we was going to respond. He know that we can count on us to hold down the fort while he's out. And we're excited to get him back next game. We don't want to keep having to do that, but for one game, he know that we can take care of business. We got a lot of guys who are champions for a reason and made a lot of history in this league for a reason. So we know how to win games. We got to continue to do that. And we know the series, one game is just one game. We got to continue to take care of business.
To follow up on that, Kevon, Steph Curry tonight, 36 points, 1 turnover. You've been around him so much as a competitor. Can you kind of feel when he's locked in, back against the wall, like you were talking about?
Definitely. His focus level was insane tonight. He did everything for us, for getting us in our spots, knowing when to push the pace, knowing when to slow us down. Knowing when to get guys shots. They threw a lot of different defenses at him, and he was able to manipulate all of them and get us in our spots and get us good shots. And I think he had a great floor game, and that was a big part of the reason why we won.
Did Draymond give either you personally or the team like a pep talk yesterday?
Definitely. Yeah, he definitely gave us a pep talk. He usually always gives one before the playoffs, but this was definitely a good one in practice the other day. Told us what the keys was for us to win, and we went out there and executed tonight.
Steve said the past couple games, there's been a lot of ball watching when it comes to rebounding. So what was kind of, I guess, the mindset heading into just being more aggressive and limiting yourself from watching the ball more?
We wanted to hit first today. I think last and on the road, we were ball watching. They was running in. They was hitting us first. They was the aggressor. But I feel like I think Dante, Moses, all those guys, Steph, Clay, Wiggs, they was real locked in on that end of hitting guys first and then going to get the ball. And I think it made a big difference in our rebounding tonight. We gave us some offensive rebounds, but we didn't give up a lot like we did the first 2 games.
Several of your assists came after your own offensive rebound. How much of a scramble, or how wide open is the court often, after an offensive rebound?
Definitely, it's always a scramble. We got the best shooters in the league on our team, so I know if I get the rebound, everybody's out of position. If I can find them, they usually don't get a wide open three. When I first came in the league, usually when you get an offensive rebound, you taught to just go back up and try to get your own points. But I remember Ron Adams kept yelling at me, just kick it out. We got Steph Curry and Clay on our team. Just pass it to them. And it's been working for me, and it gives a lot of good opportunities to get them open shots.
How do you decide, when to try to put it back and when to just immediately turn and look?
It kind of depends. Like, if I got 2 feet in the paint when I get the rebound, I usually try to go back up. But if it's like a long one, or I feel like it's not going to be an easy layup, I kick it back out. So if I'm not wide open, I usually pass it out.
Kevon, the smothering defense you guys played in the paint, how much did that lead to some of the spectacular plays like Kuminga and a stretch there with the dunk and the drive? And just you took on a big load with Sabonis there, and that really sparked him.
Yes, definitely. Whenever we were able to rebound and get out and transition, we're pretty deadly. I think the first 2 games, they beat us on all the boards, so we had to play a lot in the half court. But tonight we was able to get rebounds and get stops, and able to get out in transition. We're pretty tough to slow down when we get out and run. We got athletes like J.K. and Wiggs, and shooters as Clay and Steph and J.P. So we're pretty tough in space, and I think we did a good job of just getting the ball and pushing it.
Steph, I think you were plus 24 and maybe plus 39 or 38 for the series. Do you feel like when you're on the floor, you are the better team and you have the advantages that you need to have in the series?
I mean, I can say that, but you got to go out and, execute and do it consistently, especially for us to get back in the series. So, consider how the first 2 games went, on the road with our road struggles all year. We still had a chance to, get game 1, possession here, possession there. Game 2 is tied with 4 minutes left, 5 minutes left, whatever it was. So we've shown that, despite our self-inflicted wounds with turnovers and, giving up offensive rebounds, that, we're capable of beating that team any night. It's just nice to have something to show for it now. So, the minutes that I'm out there, just try to be assertive, aggressive, take care of the basketball, control the pace. Then we all did that, a lot better tonight, and that helped our defense. And, I know we can shoot the ball better as a whole. And, I like the momentum that we created tonight. We just got to take advantage of it.
What was the reason for the multiple rests? I think it was the first half. I don't think we've seen that.
The what?
The 2 sits, the 2
We just want to keep y'all guessing with my rotations and the minutes, considering I got that question in game 1. So I might, switch it up again in game 4. We'll see.
Steph, over here. You guys have always talked in the past about flipping the switch when you guys have your backs against the wall. Did you feel this was kind of like a vintage game tonight where you guys were able to do that, especially in light of the fact that you didn't have both Draymond and GP2 out there?
This is what we're supposed to do. I mean, being down those 2 guys who bring so much to our defensive side and just our identity as a whole, we had to have guys step up. So we obviously understand the consequences of if we lost tonight. And nobody wanted to feel that, so it was a very focused effort, great energy from everybody that stepped foot on the floor. Even it just the defensive numbers were amazing tonight, and you might be surprised considering Draymond and GP2 were out. It's just a way that we are able to kind of galvanize a great effort. Dante played amazing off the bench. Mo gave us great minutes. J.K. the same. J. Mike, A. Lamb, everybody who stepped foot on the floor in the rotations understood the assignments and did it to the best of their ability. So when we get our 2 guys back, we got to continue to do that with whatever you're asked to do. And we have a great opportunity to even the series on Sunday and take it from there.
Hi, Steph. You guys got 22 turnovers in game 2 and just 11 turnovers in this game. How much do you like the taking care of the ball and making a quickly decisions?
Kind of what I was saying about the first 2 games, even with 20-plus turnovers each game, I think we still had a chance to win. So if you can give ourselves a better chance in the possession game, we got 8 more shots than they did. Have 5 more offensive rebounds. And then, like you said, the turnovers, that just allows us to control momentum. Whether shots fall or not, you always have your defense set. You're not giving them easy points because they're extremely fast and athletic, and that gives them momentum. So it's a good lesson for us of how to, control each offensive possession, figure out, how we can create space and create open looks, and win the possession game, which has historically been a good thing for us, considering how highly potent we are offensively.
Steph, Kevon just said that sometimes as a rebounder, you can get in a zone the way Steph can get in a zone or the three-point shooters can. I mean, he knows where the ball's going to be. The tips are going his way. It works. I mean, do you see that with him? And right now, especially and on the big playoff stage, that he just has a knack for it?
Yeah, he's relentless. Like you say, I don't know what that probably feels like, but it's just the way you see the ball, angles, your effort, knowing that it's going to be physical, you're going to get knocked around, but he's just, ready to take all that physicality. And then he has to guard it. It's a tough, matchup on the other side, so he knows how to be effective. When he's out there, he's shown it plenty of times before, and it was a huge 9 offensive rebounds. It's huge for us to give us extra possessions because we were getting pretty solid looks for most of the game, just weren't hitting a lot of them, but he was getting us extra possessions, and that gets the crowd into it, gets our momentum on our side, and it's amazing to watch.
One night before halftime led to that free for you that gave you guys a double-digit lead.
All that's big, like you said, momentum. 'Cause I thought I made the first one, it bounces right to him. He makes a split decision to kick it back out. So we needed it. We needed every bit of it, and I know he relishes those opportunities to make his presence felt in a very unique way.
Following up on Loon, you guys went 9 for 9 off of his passes. How big is that, especially without Draymond, the playmaking and facilitating he has, to have Loon also step up in that regard?
I mean, it's huge because it's kind of the pattern of basketball at any level. Offensive rebounds are usually, once you get the possession, there's going to be somebody open because everybody's kind of scattered. So it's just a great look for us to create good offense, and then, a second chance. Everybody's kind of in rhythm. You're stepping in. It's like what the game kind of calls for, and you knock them down.
Steph, I know you say that you hear everything, and there's been a lot of chatter the last couple of days with you guys in the 0-2 hole, the Draymond firestorm. Is the dynasty over? Are you guys too old? I'm just wondering, did you come out feeling like you guys had something to prove tonight?
I mean, you bottle up all of that noise and the potential distractions of Draymond being out, what the narrative is or whatever. You bottle all that up, and all it is just a sense of pride and of who we are capable of being, and coming with the right energy to kind of prove that we can create some life for ourselves. So I mean, pretty bluntly, if we lost this game, it's pretty much over. So you got to understand the moment. And we gave ourselves life. The biggest thing is we've been here before, or we've been in a situation where momentum doesn't necessarily carry over from game to game unless you execute at the same level. So it's just one game, but it was a big game for sure.
Steph, you had a quote post-game that's kind of going viral. They say Draymond's got a history, so do we. Was that something that kind of came to your mind just spur of the moment, or had you kind of been thinking along those lines over the past, 24, 48 hours?
I mean, a little bit of both, just understanding what the moment is, again, of how bad of a decision I think the league made on suspending him first and foremost, and you're frustrated with that. But you also have to understand I know Bob said it up here yesterday, we have a job to do, and there's nothing we could do about it. So just lock in on what the task at hand is, and, understanding we've accomplished a lot on this stage, and, you kind of have to dig into that identity a little bit and that comfort zone of who we know ourselves to be when your back's up against the wall and you have a night like tonight. So it definitely gave us a lot of life, and it was a nice way to respond to these last 48 hours.
Steph, you earlier sort of went down the whole roster and named a bunch of people who contributed, obviously, tonight. How important is that? How significant is that? And also in the context of throughout these 10 years, there's many examples. Mo Spates, Ian Clark, Sean Livingston had some big scoring games when you were hurt one postseason. You guys have always seemed to get clutch performances from pretty far down the bench. What is it about the way Steve coaches or the way you guys operate that has allowed that to happen?
It's one of the harder it's one of the harder things of being on our team throughout the years, for those guys who are kind of chomping at the bit to play big minutes throughout the season. Understanding we've had our core together for a long time, and you don't really know when your number is going to be called. It's kind of one of the harder things that coach has to handle with the amount of options that he can throw out there, and it's tough on a lot of guys, but it's also very rewarding when the message from training camp to now is be ready for your moment, continue to plug away, still have confidence in yourself, and understand what we're trying to do so that when your number is called, like you said, we've had a lot of guys that have helped us win championships that you can run through the names and they've had a moment here, a moment there, and it's all mattered. So that's the you have to remind yourself of that constantly, because you don't know from game to game in the regular season to playoff series, things change really quickly, and the way that we play, everybody who steps foot on the floor is involved in what we do. So it's a credit to those guys for staying ready, and we got to keep doing it.